Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video. And as you see, we are on an island, so your boy is fresh out of trees, so we gotta do some picking up today. So we need to collect some palm trees, and also we need to get some bamboo trees and regular trees. I have none left, so first things first, let's go ahead and grab those. And today we are doing a exciting build once again. We are going to be doing Nook's Cranny, which I am very excited for. Now, our Nook's Cranny is going to be a little different because it is not upgraded at all. So that's going to be really fun and interesting to see what we can build. So we are going right over to Tom Nook to go ahead and grab that. Now, typically, the shop is really fun. I love the shop personally. It's one of my favorite things to build around, especially like in city core and other builds. But this one's going to be a little bit interesting because I do want to put stuff around the shop, kind of like stuff that they are selling. So we're going to put down like some bamboo items and stuff like that, which I'm looking forward to a lot because it's going to be kind of a different aesthetic, especially when the shop is not upgraded. Now the shop size is really weird, so we are going to have to work around that a little bit. You would think it's smaller because it's not upgraded, but they like to keep the same size even though it's not upgraded, which I thought was kind of weird, but I'll show you guys. You'll see here shortly. Now we are back at the spot where we're going to build at, but first we need to terraform. So we're going to be terraforming basically the same size. We're going to kind of mirror what we have over there at the Able Sisters, so we can place down our actual shop. Now the shape of my what I'm terraforming is really just out of pocket. I am just kind of winging this. What I'm doing is kind of following the river that we made down below. That kind of looks like a pirate's hook that kind of helped guide me, because I didn't really know what the shape. I know how far we needed to go out, but for future builds I needed it to be a certain size to kind of help with me like later on, so I know kind of where to pick back up where I left off. But overall I was pretty happy with like the shape that we made, because it is kind of weird. It's like a straight and then goes to a diagonal, but overall I was pretty happy with it. As you see here, I did already kind of finish it up right here, and I made it kind of follow, like I was saying before, our little river that we made already that looks like a pirate hook. I feel like that was pretty cool. I don't know if you guys seen that in the past video, but we made a river like kind of look like a pirate hook like from the map, which is pretty cool, especially where I'm working on getting better at water. I feel like that was pretty cool. And now what we need to do is actually pick up. We have a lot of stuff laying around, a lot of roses that have made like hybrid flowers. We need to pick up all these so we can have a lot of room to build around Nook's Cranny. So here is a little montage of me just picking up around, so you guys just enjoy the music, and I'll be back. Alright, so now that we picked up everything, we can actually work on our placement of Nook's Cranny. Now, I'm going to try my best to line it up with the Able Sisters. You guys may see what I'm going for. I can't wait to show you all this build in the future. It's going to be really cool. My trash can was in the way. But as you see, it is still the same size as the upgraded one, which I didn't really think about. It's kind of weird that it's like that, but unfortunately it is. Nonetheless, I went ahead and placed it down. I feel like it will still look okay. It is huge, even though it's not upgraded. I was just kind of confused by that. But next day, time traveled, and we have that non-upgraded Nook's Cranny, which I feel like looks really cool, and it fits the jungle theme aesthetic a little bit better, I feel like. So I didn't want to upgrade it. And we are doing the same thing. We're going to place down bamboo pathing in the front. Again, to kind of give it that look that it's on stilts, even though we know it's not. I just feel like it looks cool. And we will be placing beds around it too, to kind of help with the build itself, to where it's not so like plain. I feel like it definitely needs that, because this one has a lot of like almost empty space behind it. You can see like right past it, which I don't really like, because we want this build specifically to look overrun, to kind of go with the aesthetic that we are going for. I wanted to start out by placing trees to kind of help give me like a guideline to where I know where to place down stuff. I actually really do like that. I do recommend anyone that's struggling to place down trees or like taller objects to help kind of guide you to build around, because I feel like, and I don't know, it just seems that way, that it is a lot easier to build when you do this. I don't know if that's the same for everyone, but it really does help your boy out. And moss, again, I'm just using that a little bit of everywhere to kind of help. I really should see what this place looks like in the night. Now, I can't place down a palm tree here. I did not like that, but we have to move out one more. It's really weird with the hitbox with this game. You can't place things too close to a building. I don't know why it's not interfering with anything, but gotta do what you gotta do. And I was kind of debating on what I wanted to build, because I need to build a way going up too. But I went ahead and grabbed my bunk beds to place them down. Now, I really like the bunk beds, especially when it's on the backside, because it kind of has that board to cover up things, which looks really good. And then I did use my custom design on the very top to the bamboo one, which I think looks pretty good overall. And I don't get to use these items ever, so it's really fun being able to use different items to build with, because I'm used to using like wide display stands and simple panels, which we haven't used any on this island. So it is kind of refreshing to get to use new things. So now we need to start placing down a lot of our trees after we place down all of our beds. And luckily for us, it did line up perfectly. I was kind of worried with the size on things, if it was going to fit, but it ended up fitting perfectly. And turns out you can push these one more down, which I did not know, which I am really thankful for, because it did look a little bit weird. But we did come out with this really nice box shape, and it lines up well with the Able Sisters, I feel like. So now we can start placing down the rest of our trees for this build. So I wanted to go ahead, again, making the rest of my border that I am for this build. And I wanted to place some behind Nook's Cranny too, just to give the build some more height. And this right here is going to be one of our walkways that we have. I have no idea what's going to go behind here just yet. That is for a later me to figure that out. But for right now, I will make a path going up here. And then one more tree in the backside. Again, just for height purposes. I feel like it looks a lot better when there's more things behind it. And it kind of covers up that little hole that the bunk bed has. So just add a little bit more like greenery around. And again, adding more trees. The hitbox is really annoying, so I need to go just outward a little bit more, but we will have kind of like a little windy path going around eventually. I'm not going to do anything too crazy on this. Again, we are more focused on Nook's Cranny on this video. I did end up using another party light arch. I can't help it. I feel like it looks really good. especially with this build, and it's really fitting. I know it's not that, like, it doesn't fit that good, but I don't know, I feel like it looks good. It does kind of annoy me that you can't put any tile right up against Nook's Cranny, so there's just a kind of an awkward amount of green grass in the front of it, but we just have to work with what we have. And for the pathing, we just needed a big blob in the middle to help fill in this area. Now, it will be going different ways. There'll be 3 ways in total that you can go eventually, but for right now, I'm just getting down kind of like the general like idea that I'm having. Again, just placing a big circle in the middle, and later on it will branch out to different ways. Now we need to decorate a lot of things, so we are going to be spamming a lot of things with moss and bushes to help fill in the area. I am using 2 different variants of bushes to help fill in things, which I think is going to help drastically, especially when you don't have that many items to begin with, because you really only have a few things for jungle core that you can place down. But I really like the green everywhere, so that really helps me. Green is my favorite color, so I feel like everything looks better in green. And also these fences are really helping out things too. Bamboo lattice fences, I never get to use this item, but I am really glad that we get to on this series. It looks really good. And same thing, just around the trees, kind of creating a archway going upward to, I don't know, it kind of makes you go into Nook's Cranny a little bit more and looks really good. I also need to decorate around here too to kind of fill in things a little bit more, because right now I am struggling. I didn't really know what to place down to help everything a little bit more, so I just spammed again a lot of bushes and glowing moss to help fill in the area, because we do need to decorate around Nook's Cranny. Again, I wanted to have things out in the front to act like a shop front, so it like kind of shows that we are selling like furniture items and stuff. I did start using some rocks and stuff to kind of help fill in the area, which I feel like did help a little bit more. This mossy garden rock is very interesting. I actually really like how it looks, and then like that stone tablet, you just turn it around and it's a cheaper rock that you can make, but it has a little bit more height and a little bit wider to help fill in the area. And then I need to add some more height and different levels of it, so I added some of these pillars just to help a little bit and give the build just a little bit different things to look at, some more interest. I feel like those really do help, and also the ruined items are really cool, so I am glad I get to use those. And I was thinking over here what else I can add, so I decided to add another palm tree. Again, I feel like the palm trees look the best overall, so I was really happy to use these more often. I loved using them in Palm Bay when we did make our beach island, but now we can actually start to decorate around the front too, because we desperately need to. I did get a little sidetracked here, and I was wondering if I could add a tree here. I know that I couldn't, but I tried to anyways, so I gave up on that idea and went back to the front to actually start decorating. So I grabbed just a lot of random odds and ends to see what we could use, and I grabbed a vine chair because this is going to be like a furniture store, but I didn't like the kind of the placement of that, so I did grab like this little like bamboo shelf. I feel like this looks really cool, and I don't know, it has like different items on it to kind of give the build just a little more color, I guess. And I was kind of running out of area to place down some items, so I was struggling here just a little bit because I wanted to show a little bit, I don't know, more items that it kind of shows off that it is a store. So I just put down the vine chair right here, and I feel like it does enough to where you can see it and it looks a little bit better, but I don't know, I was kind of struggling with this part specifically, but overall I was pretty happy with it. I was trying to think if I needed to move this rock to place down this vine chair to kind of help fill it in, but I just decided to leave it. I think it looks fine where it is. I didn't want to overthink things, and I wanted to add just one more little object here for the house, so I added this bamboo doll. It is pretty cool. You can click on it and it has like this little character that comes out, and now we needed to fill in some of these blank spaces and some of these like empty spaces. So what's the best item to use? Some leaf piles. I feel like they definitely help the best. And I added one in the front too. Again, just to kind of cover up some of the blank spaces. And overall, I was pretty happy with how this turned out. And I think we are done. So let's go ahead and place down our last item here. I was trying to decide if I wanted to add a wheat field in the middle just to give like the ground a little more height. So the placement of this was kind of weird. So I just kind of stepped to the left a little bit and placed it down. I feel like it looks pretty good, and plus I wanted to use some more wheat fields. But I think the walkway looks pretty good now, and everything looks kind of overgrown. So let's go ahead and do our final walkthrough. And that wraps up today's build on Nook's Cranny. I really hope you guys did enjoy today's video. This was a really fun one to make, a little bit challenging, but overall was super fun. I really hope you guys do agree. And if you guys did enjoy today's video and want to see more Animal Crossing content, don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe. And as always, till next time.